That's for sure. Go back to new Simpsons review, and if your audience is fun, go and check it out. So this episode starts with the bus all rumbled and all this looking horrible, and Milhouse and them saying that they're lucky that it's not the last bus, which explodes when a leaf when a leaf touches it, the roof, it explodes, and they're having to change seats, which thankfully they do. Mrs. Carbopple pretty much complaining to Principal Skinner, and they eventually make it to this kind of place with these lookout towers, and pretty much saying that the slightest touch will set off these cannons, which they hit it, and thankfully it wasn't loaded. And Principal Skinner that says that they can't afford the money, and he's jealous with this bus pretty much, and we see these sick people and this guy teaching with these other people shooting them and stuff, and Bart and them are trying to watch for free, which, yeah, they pretty much called him, and they tell him to go after them. And tell Otto to start the bus, and, yeah, they pretty much leave some students behind. Yeah, Mrs. Carbopple pretty much very disgusted about this, and Lisa and Bart trading lunches, and yeah, Mrs. Carbopple still upset and angry with Principal Skinner, and he said that the children have no future, and to correct him wrong, and Lisa is afraid that they're going to be going out on a strike, and Bart gets the idea, and he pops his fingers, which he says he pretty much hurts his hands, and he's saying milk, or yeah, it's pretty much supposed to say milk. Yeah, they pretty much say that these books that are banned from different schools, and yeah, Bart goes to Mrs. Carbopple and pretty much saying about the whole strike thing, worried about they're going to go on some strike, which pretty much they make them. Bart tells some lies to Principal Skinner and Mrs. Carbopple about what they said to one another, and they start to go on a strike. And yeah, Lisa's all worried, and their teacher pretty much telling them that they're out. This kid pretty much all stuck, and yeah, the kids celebrating while the teachers are out on strike. Marge is pretty much dusting Sonnen's little helper and Snowball, and Bart cannot believe the great news of them on strike, and Lisa having the emergency kit, and Marge telling him to put that crowbar away. And all the kids are having fun, and Bart going to this construction site and messing with these workers, and the main worker has the exact same voice of Bart, which was very funny. And Bart plays chess with 3 people at once, and pretty much talking about the whole Canada thing, and saying how Homer's saying of how Canada is so hard to kind of spot. And Lisa obviously very worried, and Marge telling her to try to relax, which, yeah, obviously she cannot relax, which she runs and tries to talk to the teachers, and they says to just go away. And yeah, they're still on strike, and showing that these piano tuners are on strike too, and Bart's still making more trouble to try to make it longer. The guy that we've seen several times is not happy with Principal Skinner, and this substitute like thing for guy with Milhouse that Milhouse got, and these bullies pretty much playing at the arcade, and Bart obviously trying to tell everybody that they have all their money, and then they start blaming one another, and yeah, Bart's still causing chaos, and Lisa's telling Marge to grade her very much, and Marge telling Homer about the whole situation, and Homer's, of course, like this machine that keeps going faster, and Marge saying how Bart is just flying a kite at night, and they decide that they need to get the teachers back, which Ned pretty much tries to make all the striking go away with Mrs. Carbapple and Principal Skinner, and they cannot just agree with one another, really. So they're still on the whole strike thing. This guy jumps out the window, and when they say that they're not, pretty much he just jumps right back into the window like a reverse, like it was reverse. And going through some of these things of what would happen if the principals go on strike and these robot mechanic things, or just do substitutes. Which, yeah, we see these different substitutes that are doing. And, of course, Homer, or Bart doing the whole gags with Moe. And is very happy and Milhouse is actually happy how well he did these substitutes. And Principal Skinner introduces this big guy as a substitute, but he then introduces Marge. Yup. Bart's mom is now teaching as their substitute. And of course he's embarrassed. And moving these traps. And Homer wondering what everybody did today, and Marge saying it was exhausting. Bart saying he was humiliating, and Lisa with everything else, like her substitute pretty much getting his beard trapped in the pencil sharpener, and Homer telling her to stop whining. And Bart is like, what if I started to mop the floors and do that stuff that Marge would normally do? And she said that she would be very pleased, and he could start right now. And he's like, all angry and stuff, and Marge is saying that she's still going to teach his class no matter what. And next day, Bart wanting to talk to Marge because, well, they took his money pretty much for candy, which, yeah, they pretty much start baiting and doing a distraction with Marge's mom. He take it, and he talks to Milhouse saying that they need to get the teachers back, which, yeah, they get Mrs. Carbapple and Principal Skinner, and pretty much lock the office door, and now they just have to wait, which, yeah, still trying to wait, and Principal Skinner and Mrs. Carbapple actually come to realize that they're going off of strike, which, yeah, they pretty much turned the whole elementary as a prison, and saying that this was a good idea, and Mrs. Carbapple pretty much telling the kids to ignore the murderers in those cells. And this guy telling Bart that if he releases him, he'll let him go. He'll make it worthwhile. And Bart's like, I'm listening. And it ends like that. So yeah, a real great episode. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's one notifications turned on so you can see anything new. And let me know what y'all think. Until next one.